Good morning. I am Varalakshmi from Department of Civil Engineering, Mari Lakshman Reddy Institute of Technology and Management. Now, I am going to discuss the subject Irrigation and Hydraulic Structures Unit 1, that is Storage 1. In that, uh, now in this lecture, we are going to discuss the investigations for reservoir planning. It is a very important field experiments before constructing the reservoir. Site selection is the big problem. So how to select a site, how to decide the location of the reservoir is depend on the investigations. Mainly the investigations are divided into three types. First one, engineering investigations. Second one, geological investigations. Third one, hydrological investigations. So first we will discuss with engineering investigations. These engineering investigations are again divided into four types. First one, area elevation curve. Second one, storage elevation curve. Third one, map of the area to indicate the land property to be surveyed. Fourth one, suitable site selection for the dam. So what are the area elevation curve? Area elevation curve is the contours drawn by using surveying techniques like total station survey, chain survey. So by using survey methods, the reservoir site is contoured. That means in each area the elevations are drawn. The elevation contours are drawn on the map. Why it is important? Because a reservoir is mainly depend on the elevations. So elevation depend on the elevation contour, the height of the reservoir and surface area of the reservoir is fixed. Similarly, storage elevation curve also. Next, land property. Land property. So how much land is utilized for reservoir and where the dam should be placed. So depend on the contour lines, we decided the area of the reservoir and the dam. Next, suitable site selections for the dam. Suitable site selections means it is easily accessible to the local people and laborers like that, and it is strong, basement strong like that, and the local materials are available. So because these local materials, transportation, all these are decrease the cost of construction of the dam. So we must take care of the cost of construction of the dam. And area of the reservoir. Compulsory, it should be minimized submerging area. If the submerging area is more, automatically the cost of construction is increased because we are losing the valuable lands in the submerged area. That means agriculture lands are submerged in the reservoir. So, and we should locate the villages or tandas nearby reservoirs, and they are not easily located. So we must pay some amount to them because they left their valuable lands to the reservoir. That's why we should pay some amount. If submerged area is increased, we must pay them and the cost of the land is increased. That's why we must take care of that submerging area is less. So we must prefer that surface area is less and the depth of the reservoir is more. Then the submerging area will decrease. So all these surveys comes under engineering surveys. Next, geological investigations. Mainly in geological investigations, the basement of the dam is very, very important. Depend on the basement, water tightness of the reservoir depended. Mainly, if the water stored on the earth surface, it creates a high pressure. Then there is a possibility of generating earthquakes due to if the earth is not bear that much of water pressure, then automatically earthquakes are generated. That's why we should take care of that. The basement is very, very strong. Generally, we should prefer hard rock basement. That's why most of the dams are constructed at forest areas or hilly areas or valley areas. The natural hard basements are available. Next, suitability of foundations for the dam. Third one, geological and structural features such as folds, faults, fissures of the rocks present in the basin. That means if we find that hard rock basement are available, but in that hard rock we identify the structural features like folds, faults, fissures, cracks like that. What will happen? The water has a nature. If any hole is available, the water pass through that hole and it make that small to big hole. Like that, if folds and faults are present in the rock, the water enter into that folds and make that basement is weak. That's why we must take care of that. The structural features are less in the basement. Next, type and depth of overburden pressure. So if we constructed a dam or reservoir, they automatically increase the pressure due to stored water and the weight of the dam. So the basement should take bear that pressure. Okay. So for to know that how it bear, that we use the geophysical surveys like resistivity survey, seismic survey, and VLF techniques, magnetic techniques, gravity techniques, like that. Resistivity survey means we pass the current into the rocks and observe the output current. So if more current is passed into the earth, then it is a hard basement. If less current is passed to the basement, it is a loose. So depend on that nature, we estimate the strongness of the basement. Similarly, seismic, we passed the waves, artificial earthquake waves, and observe the propagation of waves into the earth. If waves are propagate freely, then it is loose soil and not suitable for construction of dams. If it does not propagate easily, then it is suitable for reservoir construction. Like that, we take care of the pressure burden. Next point, location of permeable and soluble rocks, if any. So we must take care of there is no permeable and soluble rocks present. If what happens, soluble rocks are present, automatically the water quality, stored water quality will affect. If the quality is damaged, then the water, stored water will not utilized for drinking and agriculture. Then what is the use of construction of reservoir? That's right. We must take care of the quality of the water also. When the quality of water will good, it does not include any rock soils, because the water has the nature of dissolving any material. If we dissolve salt in the water, it gets salty taste. If we dissolve sugar in the water, it gets sweet taste. Similarly, if the rock has fluoride, there fluoride rock is present, the water dissolve fluoride content into them. So after consuming the fluoride water, what will happen? Fluorosis will come to us. So that's why we must take care of that quality of the water. Next, groundwater conditions in the region. If the above water stored automatically, slowly seepage of water will occur. Sometimes when groundwater is more, where the land is converted into wetlands, which are not useful for agriculture. So their groundwater monitoring of groundwater conditions is also very important. Next, location of quarry sites for materials required for dam constructions and quantities available for them. So the available materials, we must take care that possible used local construction materials in high quantity. It will decrease the cost of construction, okay, and time of construction. So these are the geological investigations. Next one, engineering surveys. So engineering services is completed. Next one, hydrological investigations. Hydrological investigations means the estimation of water quantity inflow and outflows. So study of runoff pattern at the proposed dam site to determine the storage capacity corresponding to a given demand. So to fix the storage capacity, we must study the how much inflow is occurred in the reservoir every year. Maybe sometimes it is high, sometimes it is low, and sometimes it is average. So we must take the data of 30 years nearly, how much flow is flowing in every year. Depend on that, we must be fixing the capacity of the reservoir. So for that we are using the hydrographs, runoff hydrographs, which are covered in the water resource engineering 1 in one semester. Next, determination of the hydrograph worst flood conditions, spillway capacity, ivanni. So all these are determined on the runoff pattern and runoff quantity. So depend on that runoff water and runoff quantity, we are decided the flood, worst flood condition, designed flood and spillway capacity and its designs. Stream gauging. So, and also with the quantity, we must know the velocity also, because velocity will affect the sedimentation. So, velocity is measured with stream gauges. Okay. So, now we are going to engineering. The following investigation should be carried out for planning the storage reservoirs. First one, engineering surveys. The area of the dam site and reservoir basin should be surveyed thoroughly to prepare topographical map and contour map. From the contour map, the storage capacity of the reservoirs should be fixed by ascertaining the height of the dam. Thus, the valuable lands and properties which may get submerged in the reservoir can be found out. So, the amount of compensation to be paid to the owner can be estimated. A detailed statement may be prepared for the land acquisition. So, this is the elevation storage curves. Volume is taken on x-axis and elevation is taken on y-axis. So, this curve represent volume and it is area. Depend on these elevation storage curves, we fix the capacity. And these are the contour maps, elevation contour maps. At every area we are taking the elevations and joining the equal elevations. That is called the contours. The line joining the equal elevations are called the contours. Always contours are closed lines. Okay. Next, geological surveys. First one, dam foundation. The subsurface exploration at the dam site should be carried out to locate the cracks, fisheries, etc., which are responsible for the percolation loss. Necessary measures can then be recommended for percolation zones to control the losses. Next, characteristics of reservoir basin. The geological survey of the basin should be carried out to locate the cracks, fisheries, etc., which are responsible for the percolation loss. Necessary measures can then be recommended for percolation zones to control the losses. Next, availability of construction materials. Huge quantity of materials like fine aggregate, coarse aggregate are required for construction of dam and allied structures. The place where these materials are available should be located and they should be preferably near the site. If the quarries and sand pits are situated in the vicinity of the project, it reduces the cost of the project. So, these are the geological surveys. That means we must take create a map that type of the rock. So it is a hard rock, soft rock, like that, and available lineaments, fisheries, faults, folds. So all should mapped on the geological map. Next, hydrological surveys. These surveys includes the collection of following data. First, river gauging. River gauging should be carried out for the main river and its tributaries in the catchment area and on the upstream side of the site. This is to estimate the probable discharge of the river throughout the year. Next, rainfall records. The rainfall records from the rain gauge stations in the catchment area for the past few decades are collected and the runoff is estimated. Then the hydrographs are prepared from the high flood discharge for the previous decades. The probable flood discharge for the future decades are ascertained from the graphs. Third point, determination of discharge from empirical formulas. The peak flood discharge may also be determined by using different empirical formulas like Rives formula, Dickens formula, etc. The number and capacity of spillways are determined according to the available highest flood discharge from different observations. Next, now we are coming to the dams. A dam is a hydraulic structure. It is also an impervious barrier constructed across a river or natural stream to form a reservoir behind it and water is stored in it for longer duration. That means dam is a hydraulic structure that is constructed to form the reservoir. Okay, so always dam backside is reservoir. Okay, next, what are the advantages of dams? The main advantages of dams are preventing flooding in downstream sites. Mainly dams are constructed to prevent the floods. Otherwise the floods will submerge the villages, like in recent the submerges Bhadradri and Medaram, like that. There are so many villages are submerged due to heavy rainfalls and heavy floods. So, like, to avoid that floods in villages, a dam is constructed. That's why dams are also called flood control structures. Next, supply water for irrigation. That means the stored water in the reservoir is utilized for irrigation in Kharif, Rabi and summer seasons. That means it collects water at heavy flood seasons and later dry periods it releases the water for irrigation and supply water for domestic uses. So can store water and supply water during the times of droughts. Next, produce hydroelectric power. So dam sites are suitable for hydroelectric power generation. So that's why at dam sites, hydroelectric power stations are preferred. Improve water transport. So it decreases the distance of the transport villages or cities. For example, if we want to go Srisailam from Hyderabad. So if a Srisailam dam is not there, then what we'll do? We will around the we will go Kurnool and like that in another way. It will take lot of time. So due to the construction of dam on the reservoir dam on at Srisailam, we are decreasing the distance of the traveling. So from Hyderabad to Srisailam, we must reach in 5 to 6 hours in a car. If there is no dam, we must go round. That's why it takes time of 10 to 12 hours. So it will improve the transportation. If dams are there, automatically it is a recreation places. It attracts the tourists. If we want to put a picnic, automatically first preference goes to Nagarjuna Sagar or Srisailam. So like that, it attracts the tourists. Next, what are the disadvantages of building of dams? Dams building construction is very expensive. That's why most of dams are constructed by the government only. Many people have to be rehabilitated. So if we want to construct a dam, so many villages comes under submerging area of the reservoir. So automatically rehabilitation facilities are provided for that villages. Upstream side will be flooded or inundated. So upstream side of the dam is flooding reservoir is formed. Historical sites will be flooded. Collapse of the dam may cause great damage to the human beings and property. So if we did not design properly or we did not construct dam properly, if any cracks or leakages or spoil may occur to the dam, automatically surrounding villages also submerged in the due to this flooding water. So take care of that. A proper design and proper construction. Otherwise, a huge loss will face by human beings. Cause of problems to migratory fish. So, if dam obstruction is there, the fish migration will not possible. So, for aquatic life, migration is the big problem. So, these are the disadvantages of building of dams. Thank you.